This conference will now be recorded.
अद्य गुरुवासरः अथवा बृहस्पतिवासरः अधिक अश्विन शुद्ध अष्टमी दिनांक 24 सितंबर 2020 सहस्र योगम कौटिल्य शिलागम शंखं चक्रं जलकान्ततमृतघटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छातिहृद्यांशकपरिविलसन् मौलिमं भोजनेत्रं कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसच्चारुपीताम्बराढ्यं वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगदवनप्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् प्रौढतावाग्निलीलम् ब्रह्मणो हि समारब्धा मात्रेयाद्येषु पूजिताम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् आयुर्वेदरतं वन्दे माधवाख्यं महागुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं शिष्येभ्यो यः प्रदत्तवान् द्रष्टाज्ञानी दृष्टकर्मा कृतकर्मा तथैव च अध्यापको ऋषक्श्रेष्ठो महान् संशोधकस्तथा गुणैरेतैः समुदितैः यत्कार्यं प्रतनोति सः समृद्ध्यर्थं हि कार्यस्य वयं नु प्रयतामहे सरस्वत्यै नमो यस्य प्रसादात् पुण्यकर्मभिः बुद्धिदर्पणसङ्क्रान्तं जगदध्यक्षमीक्षते आत्रेयं प्रथमं वन्दे आयुर्वेदजगद्गुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं गृहीत्वा हि सुरेश्वरात् अग्निवेशादिकेभ्यो यत्प्रेक्षत् प्रथमं तन्त्रकर्तारम् अग्निवेशं नमाम्यहम्। फाणितं कौडजं भेलमुनिना पीतोषसां सर्वेषां शमनायालं बालेष्वपि निवार्ता कुटजबीज कुटजत्व कुटजमूल कुटजकुसुम कुटजपत्र some everything from kutaja jala, then प्रक्षेप द्रव्य व्योष अब्ध धान्यक जम्बू पल्लव च्यूतास्थि अमरास्थि दाढिमत्वचा अभया आठा जातिफल अजाजी हिंगू अतिविषा गुहा कृष्णिपर्णी तिक्ता शाल्मली निर्यास नागफेन अहिफेन वनकर्ष each all types of arshas it is good for children as well. कौटजादि गुड कौटिल्य त्रिफलान्येव पटोल गणनागरैः भावितानि दशाहानि रसे द्वित्रिगुणानि वा शिलाजतु फलान्यष्टौ तावती स्थितशर्करा त्वक्षिरी पिप्पली धात्री कर्कटाख्या फलोन्वितं निदिताफलमूलाभ्यां फलं विद्या त्रिजातकम्. So this we considered actually मधुत्रिफल संयुक्तं कुर्यात् अक्षसमान् गुणान् दाढिमाम्बुपयः पक्षी रसतोय सुरासवान् तान् भक्षयित्वानि पिबेत् निरन्नो भुक्त एव वा पाण्डुकुष्ठज्वरप्लीहतमकार्षोपगन्धरं पूतिकृच्छुक्रमूत्राग्निदोषशोषगदोदरं कासासृक्पित्तास्मासासृग्धरपित्तासृक्षोभगुल्मगलामयात् तेन वर्धो ब्रह्मान् हन्यात् सर्वदोषहरिः शिवः. So this we actually considered, and Shilajat is the main ingredient. It's done, sir. Now Bahushala go. Yeah. So we'll proceed further to Bahushala Guru as such. Bahushala Guru त्रिवृत्तेजोवती दंती स्वदंशा चित्रकम शठी गवाक्षी मुस्त विश्वांभ विडंगानी हरितकी. फलोन्मितानि चैतानि फलान्यष्टानि अरुष्करात् षट्फलं वृद्धदारुस्य Darusya. This is something very strange. Suranasya च षोडश जलद्रोणद्वये क्वाथ्यं चतुर्भागावशेषितम् पूतं तु तं रसं भूयः क्वाथेभ्यो त्रिगुणो गुणः लेहं पचेत्तु तं यावत् तं तावत् यावत् दर्वी प्रलेपनम् अवतार्य ततः पश्चात् चूर्णानि इमानि दापयेत् त्रिवृत्तेजोवती दन्ति चित्रकान् विपलांशकान् एलात्वं वरिचं चापि गञ्जावं चापि षट्फलं द्वात्रिंशत्फलमेवात्र चूर्णं दत्त्वा निधापयेत् ततो मात्रां प्रयुञ्जीत रसे जीर्णे क्षीररसाशनः पञ्चगुल्मान् प्रमेहांश्च पाण्डुरोगं फलीमकं जयदर्शांसि सर्वाणि तथा सर्वोदराणि च दीपयेत् गृहिणीं मन्दां यक्ष्माणम् अपकर्षति पीनसे च प्रतिष्ठाय अप्याढ्यवाते तथैव च अयं सर्वगदेष्वेव कल्याणो लेह उत्तमः दुर्नामानिरयं चाशु दृष्टो वारसहस्रशः भवन्त्येनं परिञ्जानः शतवर्षम् अनामयाः आयुषो दैर्घ्यजननो वलीपरितनाशनः रसायनवरश्चैव मेधाजनक उत्तमः गुडश्रीबाहुशालोऽयं दुर्नामारिः प्रकीर्तितः. So I think this is available, Bahushala Guda, and Falashruti is quite wide. Trivrit Tejovati Malkangani Danti Shodamshta Buksho Chitraka Shakti Gavakshi Indravaruni Musta Vishwa Vidanga Haritaki. So many Dravyas are Vireshana. Arushka Bhallataka is also there. Vruddhadaru Surana. Vruddhadarusya is something very strange root. Vruddhadaroho Darunaha, that might be the proper thing. No, Vruddhadaru. Surana Jala, prepare Chaturtha Vashishta Kashaya, then add Guda. SKM Sitaram. Okay. प्रक्षेपद्रे त्रिवृत तेजवती मालकांगणी दंती चित्रकट रूपल इच एलात्वक मरीच गजा भगरविपरी. Prepare lehe with the above drugs taken in the specified quantity. Milk diet is advised after digestion of the medicine. Kshira Mausara, Kshira Rasashinaha, so Kshira or Mausarasa. Panchagulma Prameha Pandu Halimaka Arshas Udara Grahani Mandagni Kshaya Pinasa Pratishaya Adhyavata Sarvarog. So there are many conditions in which constipation is one of the important problems, and how to deal with that, that is an important aspect. And for Arsha also, this is very good. 100 this is various without any disease, Medhya and Rasayana. So truly speaking, the Falashruti, whether they have covered all Falashruti or not. ततो मात्रां परिजित जीर्णे क्षीर रसाशनः प्रमेह पाण्डु हलिमक अर्ष उदर गृहिणी मंदां दीपयेत् यक्ष्माणम् उपकर्षति पीनसे च प्रतिष्ठाय आढ्यवाते तथैव च कल्याणो लेह उत्तमः. So this is kalyana again, so that is again a specific word which is to be considered. दुर्नामारिः अयं चाचु दृष्टो वारसहस्रशः भवन्त्येनं प्रयुञ्जाना शतवर्षमनामयाः आयुषो दैर्घ्यजननो वलीपलितनाशनः रसायनवरश्चैव मेधाजनक उत्तमः गुडश्रीबाहुशालोऽयम्. Cancer, it may be thought, sir, contains Vallata kind rasayana also. Yeah. So just I'm thinking. नहीं माहिती. Bahushala Guda, is there any part in any other text? So they have not covered all Falashruti. That is another important aspect over here. So Bhallataka is there and Charangar also having part. Okay. So that is fine. So we can start using it. The only thing is this should be available in the market and if Sitaram and SK. So let us start using this and also Kamala, Pandu, etc. So Halimata also. So those patients like cholangiocarcinoma or liver cancer, those also should be available by Nagarjuna Ahmedabad. Okay. So I think this is a better combination and it's Anulomana as well. Rasayana, Anulomana, Medhya, everything is there. So let us start using this, that will be better. च्यवन प्राशावलेह बिल्वाग्निमंथ शोनाक काश्वर्य पाटला बला पर्णिष्ठतस्रः पिप्पल्यश्वदंष्ट्रा बृहति द्वयम् शृंगी तामलकी द्राक्षा जीवंती पुष्करा गुरु अभया चामृता रुद्धि जीवकर्षभकौ षठी मुस्ता पुनर्नवा मेधा सूक्ष्मैलोत्पलचन्दने विदारि वृषमूलानि काकोली काकनासिका येषान् फलोन्मितान् भागान् शतानि आमलकस्य च पंच दद्यात् तथैकथ्यं जलद्रोणे विपाचे ज्ञात्वाङ्गतं रसान्येतानि औषधान्यतितं अततं रसम् औषधानि अथ तद्रसं तञ्चामलकमुद्धृत्य निष्कलं तैलसर्पिषोः फलद्वादशके भृष्ट्वा दद्यात् चार्धतुलां विशक् मत्स्यण्डिकायाः पूतायाः लेहवत् साधु साधयेत् षट्पदं मधुनश्चात्र सिद्धशीते प्रदापयेत् चतुष्पदं विदद्या च त्वकेलापत्रकेसरम्. Same part, so there is no much difference. Might be little bit of difference there, but mostly it is the same. इत्ययं च वनप्राशः परमुक्तो रसायनः कासश्वासहरश्चैव विशेषेण उपदिश्यते. क्षीणक्षतानां वृद्धानां बालानां चाङ्गवर्धनः स्वरक्षय रोगं हृद्रोगं वातशोणितं पिपासां मूत्रशुक्रस्थान् दोषाण्येवापकर्षति. मेधास्मृतिं कान्तिमनामयत्वं चायुः प्रकर्षं बलमिन्द्रियाणां स्त्रीषु प्रहर्षं परमग्निवृत्तिं बलप्रसादं पवनानुलोमं रसायनस्यास्य नरप्रयोगात् लभेत जीर्णोऽपि कुटीलप्रवेशात् जराकृतं पूर्वमपास्य रूपं बिभर्ति रूपं नवयौवनस्य. So this is famous. Only thing is the process here is to prepare the decoction, amalaka to be cooked with that, and when the decoction becomes vigatarasa or something like that, the vatya dravya, then that rasa, that amalaka and taila vrita, and then sharkara to be added later. Lehavat pachit is for. So generally what happens, if water content remains in that, then it gets spoiled. Why Kshira and Mausaras? Why? Didn't understand. Actually, this is a better choice for many, only Kshira and Mausarasa. The Falashruti of Mausarasa is also wide, and it is useful for Rasayana, as a Rasayana purpose for all dhatus. And Kshira is Rasayana and Vajikarana both. So, Kshira Rasashana, this is a common thing for many dravyas, for many Rasayanas. And no doubt it helps. Anyway, I'm putting many patients on only milk diet in cancer. So this should be ideal for that. So Bahushala Guda I will start using. Chavanprasha I am already using. There is no doubt. Now the Falashruti over here, Chavanprash is found in Charaka, Ashtangarodaya everywhere, and Charandar and every other text as well. Pipasa Mutra Shukrasthan, Mutra Shukrastha Dosh. So Shukrastha Dosh is again one of the important aspects for us because the cancer is associated with Shukra dosha as such. And so there is Pansarkar who used to say the difference between the Rasayana Aushadha in Rasayanadhikar and Rasayana Aushadha in other Rogadhikar. He used to say that there is a peculiar pattern of the texts written regarding Chikitsa Sthana. So initially they will be going for general principles. Amaya Shastu Hatvangrim Samo Margan Vidhayat Vidhati Doshas Tasmat Kultalam. So this is the Samprapti and this is the principle of treatment in Jwara or something like that. Then there will be treatment according to the types of the disease. Vataja, Pittaja, Kaphaja, Bandhaja or something like that. Then there will be treatments along with associated other symptoms as such. Asvedandita, Srishnartha, Malakanagarehi, like that. Or Bastipashvashirashri, Vaigri, Kokshara, Savitam, like that. Later on, there will be medicines which will be Rasayan and Vajikaran. So, as the disease progresses and there is Dhatu Bala Kshaya, Dhatu Kshaya, Dhatu Bala Kshaya, and Dosha Bala Vritti or something like that. In that scenario, unless and until we increase the Dhatu Bala, we can't conquer the disease. So, in the end, there are medicines which are Rasayana or Vajikaran. So Trijatati Guti, first thing is Tavrushaha, something like that. And Abhaya, Pippali, etc. These are used in varieties of diseases and they are all Rasayana. So when a patient comes to you having that particular disease and having less Dhatu Bala and more Dosha Bala, then you go for the Rasayanas that are mentioned in that particular Adhikara and get rid of the disease. But here also you find Kasaswasa Haraschaiva Visheshana Upadeshtate, Vatashonita, then Rudroga, etc. etc. So this has been given in Rasayana Adhyaya. So when to use this particular thing? Some people are of opinion, okay, we can use in Rudroga or Vatarakta, Chavanprash particularly. And in the disease itself. But it would be worthwhile to say that this can be used after treatment of Rudroga for Apunarbhava of Rudroga or Vata. So we can definitely think it in that way. Datar Guruji has mentioned Chavanpraj particularly after of particular treatment of Kamala, and this is to be Chavanpraj is to be given later for stability or something like that. So in the same manner, we may think about these diseases and use Chavanprash for prohibition of recurrence of these diseases. So that should be fine. What modification to do in Vyavhar while Kuti Praveshaka Rasayana without doing Kuti Pravesha? There is one person in Rajasthan, I suppose, I would remember that name, Bilwada. Bilwada is, I think it is Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh maximum. He keeps the patient in dark room and he treats cancer patients particularly. And he is not allowed to come out till 21 days or something like that. Now I have heard a very few cases which are very good successful cases, but not all. And the patients improve. I have not heard that the nails of the hair fall off or something like that. But rejuvenation occurs. The basic concept of Trigarbha Kuti is like taking you to back to the fetal stage or something like that. As if it is your Punarjanma. So as you were in Garbhashaya or something like Trigarbhashaya as such, taking you to that pass and rejuvenating the whole system. And you are supposed to do Panchakarma first and then go for this Kuti Praveshika Rasaya. So, in rich people, this would be possible to convert a room into a dark room. If we have sufficient space, then we can convert a particular room into a dark room. And at the most, what you can use is a Gurta Diva, so lamp made of Gurta. And the person has to stay there in the dark room, and it fetches good results. That is what I have heard. I'm also thinking of implementing it in some typical cases. I tried to implement in one case, but that was too advanced, and within 1 or 2 days, the patient died. So there was no chance. But this might be tried, and then Panchakarma, if possible, can be done, or at least this milk diet and rasayana kind of treatment to be given. So, anyway, in all these situations, what we need to do is rasayana treatment, and rasayana will be effective in Trigarbha Kuti more, like Kuti Praveshika rasayana. So, artificially, we can convert a room into this kind of dark room and then administer Rasayana Aushadha, if possible, with pre-procedure of Panchakarma, if not directly or something like that. But this will be a better than Vata Tattva Rasayana. This is midway between real Kuti Praveshika and Vata Tattva. In Jamnagar, they have created this kind of Kuti, and they have made some experiments in that Kuti as well. But when I visited, it was not in use. So long back it has been used. That is the thing. I think Pranjivan Das Mehta, when he was there, he might have tried many things over there. There has been much work done in Jamnagar with Pranjivan Das Mehta, Thakkarji, or many other stalwarts as such. But hysteria epileptic पेशंटला डार्क रूमचा उपयोग होऊ शकेल का होईल there might be only thing is we have to control that person, and if it goes out of control, then that will be a difficult thing to do. I have heard regarding Ekadashi that if we make compulsory fasting for them on Ekadashi, particularly Unmad patients, and then they recover very well. कंप्लीट डार्क रूम मध्ये दिवस रात्रीचा भेद कळणार नाही तर बॉडीची बायोलॉजिकल क्लॉक डिस्टर्ब होणार नाही का? As I said, we are taking it back to fetal stage. In fetal stage, there is no darkness, there is no light, and even after delivery for 1 and 1/4 month, the baby is kept in that Sutikagar along with mother, and that is also dark. So, mode of action of darkness removing Atapa Teja. I don't think this is the only, it is stopping all the activities of all senses as such. Major is our Chakshundriya, which is constantly working. And when nothing is visible or something like that, Pachan kasa hona. I don't think only what can be digested that can only be given. So we try to do this first and then decide about that. So if we get a chance of these kinds of patients who will be able to follow it, then that will be better. It is not very well ventilated. Sukshma Chidram, that is the thing. And the doors are on opposite side. Trigarbhakuti, which is mentioned in text, is said to have well ventilation and windows. The Sukshma Chidra, the windows are very small. Ghanabhittim Ritusukham. It should be Ghanabhitti and Rutusukha, so pleasant for any kind of season as such. इंद्रियाचा आयोग होईल का? What ahar should be given in this case? Now, Gandhari, while remaining blind for the whole life, could gain strength of the eyes. And that is why she could make the body of Duryodhan like Vajra. So this kind of effect can also be there when you restore the energy. This is an ayoga, there is no doubt, but this is for a while. This is not for the whole life as such. And if we understand that this is Garbhavastha, then only we will understand it. Otherwise, this will be very difficult. Ahara is generally only milk. If we are trying to do it for cancer patient, as what I tell, when you feel hungry and to the extent you feel hungry, you drink milk. That's all. So it's not particular 500 ml, 200, 2000 ml, etc., etc. So when you feel hungry and to the extent you feel hungry, you drink milk. That is the thing. And I think that should be fine. Otherwise, we should try it for ourselves for 1 or 2 days initially and then extend the period. So what actually happens in this Vipassana, we have to sit and achieve a stage of no thoughts or something like that. So this is very difficult. In South, they made this kuti with AC in it, and they started this kuti praveshaka process in Grishma Ritu. Logic behind using AC was to make it Ritu Sukha. Focus may be to stabilize mana, atma by stopping senses and their work to get full effect of rasayana. That would be the thing. गर्भाला ऐकू येतं, सो श्रोत्रेंद्रियाचा थोडा तरी काम चालू असतं. इतर प्राणी जन्मानंतर लगेच चालू लागतात. पक्ष्यांची पिल्ले सुद्धा प्रत्यक्ष सूर्यकिरणांच्या सामन्यात येतात, पण फक्त मनुष्य प्राण्याच्या पिल्लांना 6 महिना अंधारात का ठेवतात? Our developmental stage is quite big. In children, the Kshiropak Kshiranada Avastha lasts for Kshiropak for 6 months and Kshiranada Avastha for 2 years. That's it. And then comes the phase of Annada. So human beings are taking long time. That is for sure. I think controlling the mind that is the major issue in this. And if that is very well controlled and we are tuned to rasayana karma as such. Satyavadinam akrodam nivrittam madhyamaithunat etc. This achara rasayana may be best followed in this particular scenario. And now there is a new concept of mobile upvas. Some people have already started this. So like another upvas fasting of restricting food, we restrict mobile. So no use of mobile throughout the day or something like no mobile day or something like that. So what would be happening to our mind? Initially, if we are addicted to mobile, this will be very difficult for the person to stay. Gradually you can control your mind. That is the thing. ब्रह्मानंदात स्वाभाविकपणे अंधारच असतो. सूर्य एटसेट्रा प्रकाशमान, तर यामुळे त्यामुळे फाकणारा प्रकाश त्या त्या ताऱ्यामुळे फाकणारा त्या त्या ताराच्या आयुष्यापर्यंतच असतो. हेतूमध्ये स्क्रीन टाइम आणि आदर करावा लागेल. त्यानुसार मोबाईल टीव्ही बंधन. स्क्रीन टाइम ऍड करायला लागेल मोबाईल टीव्ही लागेल. Screen might be of laptop or even this desktop. So we can think of this. Sardeshmukh sir follows a liquid day. He asks many patients to have a liquid day. So no solid food to be taken on that day. You may go for milk, water, or use juices, etc., etc., but no solid food for one single day. And this also is a good langan, as what his experience is. So anyway, what I feel right now, that we are accustomed to this light and everything, etc. And then when we are in a dark room with very little scope for any indriya to work for, this might be rejuvenating. That is the issue. So let us try to practice this initially, and maybe making arrangement that no light is entering in the room at night. This initially might be done. So complete darkness during night. Gradually increase it and go to bed early with that dark room, etc., etc., and then see what happens to you or something that will be better. So during this 1971 war, we were in Mumbai, and there was blackout, and there was a possibility of attack from Pakistan, and whole Mumbai uh, was in dark. And at that time, we could experience this darkness, but there was a fear in the mind. And there were again sirens and saying that if bombarding happens, what to do, etc., where to take shelter, etc., etc. And like what COVID-19, the locals were much empty after evening or something like that. So I do remember that period in 1971 when we were in Sachivalaya Gymkhana, near Sachivalaya Gymkhana, near Mantralaya, staying there. So we can think about this darkness as such, and let us take it positively. Let us not take it negatively as such, and try to do this that will be better. So what I feel, Chyawanprash is a good rasayana, there is no doubt, and even in COVID-19, this is a good rasayana as such. I was thinking of Pranakamiya rasayana. With the insufficiency of oxygen or breath, we need Pranakamiya rasayana. So Abhayamalakiya rasayana, Brahma rasayana, and Chyawanprash. Chyawanprash is easily available and widely spread. So we can think of this Chyawanprash and also Brahma rasayana and other things. So I won't read Chyawanprash. So Rasayana, Kasa, Shwasa. Now there is Ghruta and Taila over here. Some people make it only with Ghruta, and as there is a part also for that. But I have been following Taila and Ghruta together, and it has Taila and Ghruta combination has Tridosha Shamaka effect. So that's a better thing to do. So cancer patients fit for Panchakarma. In advanced cases, of course not. But I'm trying my level best to get patients in disease-free state, wherein it is possible to have Panchakarma treatment and followed by Rasayana treatment as such. But still, it's a dream. Maybe with this new website on cancer holistic guidance, we try to propagate the concept of treatment of cancer in all perspectives, including Ayurveda, right from the beginning. At least we should be giving treatment in disease-free state. And when I talk to allopathic doctors about this, it was very strange that I said, why don't you refer patients to us in disease-free state? You are not doing anything. You are just observing the patient. He said, yes, but we have a fear that if we refer the patient to you, if he gets a recurrence, then he will not come to us, he will come to you. So that's why we don't want to send. He was very clear. So I said, you don't consider any positive factor, you don't consider how to prevent the recurrence of the disease. And just think on humanity grounds. But he was blunt. He said, we see our interest, that the patient should come back to us and should not go to you. And that is why we don't recommend that. So we have to think of this and directly contact the patients. That's the only way now. So at least in disease-free state, it is possible to have Panchakarma and delay the recurrence or प्राणकमीय रसायनाचा वापर जिथे अवयव मृत होण्याची शक्यता अशा ठिकाणी देखील होऊ शकतो. Yes, particularly these gangrene patients. But more effective will be रक्ताभिसरण. So प्राणः शोणितः अनुवर्तते. So if we are able to improve the circulation, then that is more beneficial, and I do ask them to go for pranayama in these cases, and also pranakamiya rasayana like Chyawanprash, Brahma rasayana, etc. Most of the patients are diabetic, so they are afraid to start Chyawanprash. because it contains sugar or something like that. So Onco.com is platform made by allopathy people where patient may ask opinion and discuss. But what advice do they give? If somebody asks these people that whether I should have Ayurvedic treatment along with allopathy or homeopathic treatment along with allopathy, what is going to be their opinion about that? Now, the motto of our website or motto of our holistic guidance forum is we can have all treatments together. That is one aspect. And there should be no controversy among the doctors, Vaidyas, and homeopaths. So even allopathic doctors are there who won't have this kind of opinion, and then there will be no controversy or something like that. Where do Panchakarma in my both clinics, Karvenagar and Sadashivpet. And if I admit the patients in Punaroso, there also I do Panchakarma. So what I feel right now that we should have holistic approach and treat these cancer etc. patients. And my objective is kind of Ayurvedic treatment should be first line of treatment for cancer or any other disease because allopathy doesn't consider positive factors. Allopathy doesn't consider ask the patient to avoid causes. So the basic treatment is Samshepata Kriyayoga Nidana Parivarshana. So Ayurveda should get involved to stop the positive factors and Ayurvedic treatment should commence and along with that maybe low dose of chemotherapy would be useful. Who is going to accept this or not? This is again a big question. Even if we have to treat cases of Rajayakshma or COVID-19 or something else like that, the use of antibiotics should be restricted or anti-disease drugs should be restricted. May it be anti-hypertensive, may it be anti-diabetic or something like that. The first rule should be of avoidance of causes, identifying and avoidance of causes, and then Ayurvedic treatment in tune with that, and along with that, you may go for little dose of allopathy or something like that. Patients will respond better. There will be less morbidities, etc., and patient will be get cured. It's not just symptomatically keeping him under control, but patient will get cured, and that should be our motto, I said. But then this is very difficult in today's scenario to convince allopathic doctors. It might be possible to convince societies to a certain extent, but the society is also blind and they just follow what allopathy says. That is the another important. Yes, recently we had one case liver cancer already completed 12 chemotherapies and while responding again the disease was progressive came to me. I said okay, I will give treatment, but what is the opinion of allopathy now? So he said they have suggested immunotherapy. So I tried to say to them, no, you don't go for immunotherapy. I have never seen a patient with better prospects in with immunotherapy. But they said, no, no, we want to go for that. Along with that, we may have your treatment or something. And anyway, they were not convinced. So they started my treatment, but also started immunotherapy. After first dose, there was much derangement of this liver test, LFT test. SGOT, SGPT started increasing, PGRB started increasing. Still, they wanted to go ahead with the immunotherapy as well. And when this got little bit reduced, the second dose was given, and then it was havoc. So everything got disturbed. We didn't have any appetite. There was a lot of flatulence, and the tumor size had grown up or something like that. Even then, they were saying, no, no, we want to continue with immunotherapy. The doctor had said that at least 4 cycles we should complete. Till then, there will be increase in the disease, and but after 4 cycles, that will start reducing or something like that. I said, okay, you ask them who has taken this before, and you contact that person. Then he said, no, this has not been tried for liver cancer till now, but it has been tried in some other cancers, etc. And so I'm the first person for that. So I again tried to convince that don't go for this and rely only on Ayurveda. And anyway, the second dose was given, and he died. So I received an email after 3-4 days of our discussion, and that he has passed away. So why should we emphasize on such a kind of treatment which is a chemical? I thought initially that immunotherapy should be something boosting immunity. It's nothing like that. It's another form of chemical drugs. And they say that it boosts your immune system or something like that, which is totally unnatural. I said we give better immunity, natural immunity. And if at all you want to go for immunity building, then Ayurveda is a better option or something like that. च्यवनप्राश सतत सेवन केल्याने हाय ब्लड प्रेशर कमी होऊन नॉर्मल येतं असा वाचण्यात आलं आहे सर. अशा प्रकारे वापर करू शकतो. If you treat the patient in a wholesome manner, holistic manner, blood pressure comes to normal, sugar comes to normal, other also ailments come to, they also get reduced or something like that. It is basically not for blood pressure. It is basically not for diabetes or something like that. If you understand the case properly and treat it properly, everything gets sets right. So we have to think about this. I'm not aware what is the mode of action of immunotherapy. Maybe we have to search in the net and think about that. But I have not seen a single patient in which immunotherapy has helped. On the contrary, in all patients, it has worsened the situation. So why allopathy is looking for that? When they see that there is no option left in chemotherapy or radiation or surgery, everything has been tried to great level or something like that. Generally, there was another case in which cisplatin and this paclitaxel, both drugs were used, and the patient was in advanced stage, progressing, and not responding to our treatment to full extent. So I asked them to seek an opinion from allopathy whether they can help something with low chemotherapy dose or something like that. The doctor bluntly said, "No, we have already used very high chemotherapy drug, and so if we don't have any choice now to use low dose chemotherapy or something like that. But what I feel right now, if we start with low dose with Ayurvedic treatment being the main, and if at all we want to control the growth of the tumor, we may give chemotherapy with a very low dose, and that should be concentrate on T cells behavior. So that will be better, and then we may have an option of going to higher chemotherapy later if the patient is not responding. But then Ayurveda becomes the main treatment, and this is not acceptable by conventional medicine. They say they should do allopathy first to full extent, and if there is a scope afterwards or there is a requirement afterwards, you may go for Ayurveda, homeopathy, or something like that. I'm not getting good results in diabetic patients. Sugar is considerably controlled only. You'd have to think in holistic manner and consider all aspects and then give treatment. Then only we'll get results. That is for sure. And of course, in diabetes, major issue is stress factor. If that is not controlled, then you won't be able to control diabetes. And this happens even with anti-diabetic drugs. So even they are unable to control the sugar level if the stress level is very high. So just don't think of improving the parameters. Think of improving health to great extent, to full extent, and that will be achievable only with holistic approach. You have to consider all factors that are associated with this, and then we may deal with it. Now, I have published a book on diabetes, Saltable sugar factories, and we were not getting cases of diabetes for diabetes control, etc. Because people were happy with sugar control from allopathy, and only the complications of diabetes, like retinopathy, nephropathy, neuropathy, these patients I was getting. But now there is a change in the situation, and patients to control sugar also are coming. So those who have been taking allopathic medicines want to reduce their dosages, insulin, etc., etc., and switch over to Ayurvedic treatment. Some new cases, newly diagnosed, are also coming only for Ayurvedic treatment to control sugar. Their whole concentration is on sugar only. They don't consider what are the symptoms, etc., etc. So now what I'm trying to do is do all sorts of investigations, including sugar, HbA1c, fasting insulin, and LFT, RFT, and homocysteine, B12, B3, etc., etc. And then gradually we start with our treatment, keep a watch on these parameters as well, and the general well-being of the patient as well. This is something new. They are not bothered about what they feel. They are bothered about the values of the reports, etc., etc. Now we are getting approached by patients for Ayurveda because they are fed up by taking 10, 12 tablets a day for diabetes and hypertension. That is true. You rely on HbA1c. Now, unfortunately, we have to follow the regime or we have to see the reports. If we have our own objective criteria, that would be useful. This is still a dream. Subjective criteria, nobody believes. Even the patient doesn't believe. The society will not believe. The scientific society will not believe. So we need to have objective criteria for that, and then HbA1c is a better option to see. So what I feel right now, that there will be vast scope even to treat diabetes patients, even to treat hypertension patients. And if we have holistic approach, we will be able to deal with them properly. There is no doubt about that. Juvenile diabetes is yet another important gray area, and I had very few cases of juvenile diabetes in my whole tenure. And the allopathic lobby is very strong. They don't allow the patient to go anywhere. And constantly keep bombarding that no, you have to follow only allopathy, be on insulin, and we'll keep on adjusting the insulin dose, etc., etc. But now again, there can be students, there can be relatives, close relatives of the students who are interested in taking Ayurveda only for juvenile diabetes as well. So this will be a new avenue for us to work upon. And if we succeed that will be a great step in the field of medicine. Because Ayurveda is not at all exposed to these patients. And it's not only the diet, it's the exercise, it's the yoga, it is the psychological condition, etc., etc. All need to be considered, and even the heredity role has to be considered. Obesity has to be considered if it is there. And with holistic manner, this would be possible to control the sugar and other thing on allopathic parameters also, and also on individual parameters or what we can say the symptoms, etc., etc., subjective parameters. आयुर्वेदिक सेंटर मध्ये पेशंट ट्रीट करत राहून गरजेनुसार एखाद्या ऑन्कॉलॉजिस्ट विजिटिंग ठेवून आपल्या डिरेक्शन नुसार त्याच्याकडून काही उपचार करून घेणे अशी व्यवस्था उभी करता आली तर बरेच काही साध्य करता येईल. Sardeshmukh sir has this center, this facility. I wondered when he said that he will start radiation unit and he will start appoint oncologist also for giving chemotherapy. And I asked why you want to go for this. Then he said anyway people don't accept only Ayurveda, so they want to go for radiation or chemotherapy. Then why we should not make it available in our own center? So the patient will not be distracted, and we may not lose the follow-up of the patient or something like that. But here, basic treatment should be Ayurveda. Of course, Ayurvedic treatment is being given to all patients, whosoever comes to Wagholi Center or in Mumbai Center or something like that. But there is no thought process that no chemotherapy to be given in this patient. This will have more adverse effect than positive effects. This thought process is not there. When the oncologist says, okay, you have to give chemotherapy, they say, okay, give chemotherapy. They don't oppose that. So in a holistic manner, this is integration, and holistic is still different. We have to think of the hither of the patient in all perspectives, and then only we can think whether this is to be given or not. Ayurvedic treatment is not hazardous, so there is no doubt about it. Allopathic treatment is hazardous. Yesterday, I had two cases, kids, so to say, 2.5 years hepatoblastoma, and another case was around 4 years leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia. So, in this particular hepatoblastoma, they were suggesting chemotherapy, and the patient was in dilemma what to do. I said, nothing doing, no, don't go for allopathy at all. Now, what is going to be the outcome of this? 2.5 year baby suffering from hepatoblastoma, not even hepatic cell carcinoma, HCC. This is hepatoblastoma. This is more difficult. And what is going to be the fate of the patients? Second is this girl, a small girl, acute leukemia, 90% blast cells. So she has already been given one chemotherapy. The doctor said that you have to go for 6 chemotherapies, etc., etc. So there is a danger that the patients may die due to chemotherapy in both these cases because they are very weak and very small, very less immunity, and the chemotherapy itself will kill. But they are not bothered. They say we are supposed to give this our treatment, and whatever the outcome be, we are not bothered about that. We have followed our standard protocol. So it was really a very disgusting thing that two children like this, 2.5 years and 4 year age, suffering from very advanced stages of cancer, and how to deal with them. The use of statin is so horribly done that that only drug sale is focused, patient is not focused on the papers. Dr. Trip Adivasi's millets for diabetes Trunadhanya, is it ideal to use daily? Dr. Trip advises millets. Now this is Kshudradhanya. We may emphasize on Yava, that's a better option. And particularly in Krushra Madhumehi, it becomes difficult how to deal. Anyway, this is a difficult thing to handle. Those who are Marathi may read my book, Chalte Bolte Sugar Factories, and then come up with whatever opinions you have. Now, trained is allopathy practitioners stating on case paper of history of taking Ayurvedic medicine as history of taking Ayurvedic medicines. But then that is just to see that whether there is adverse effect of that, particularly lead. Then they ask the patient to go for lead toxicity to check the more lead in the, something like that. लहान मुलांना देता येईल जे one can give औषधाला. What are possible diagnoses of diabetes according to Ayurveda? Anyway, diabetes is not prameha or prameha is not diabetes. There can be correlation between these two. There cannot be correlation. So we need to have our own diagnosis. That is most important. So anyway, there has been much diversion from the original subject. But what I feel, there is a vast scope in diabetes, its complications, in juvenile diabetes, and in uncontrolled diabetes sugar levels for Ayurveda now. That is what I definitely see. So anyway, we conclude today and continue tomorrow. आयुर्वेदप्रकाण्डो निगदित इह हि शल्यतन्त्रप्रधानः शिष्येभ्यः शाश्वतोऽयं निखिलजनकृपा व्याप्तचित्तेन येन आयुर्वेदस्य वाञ्छन् पुनरतिभुवने तां च सुष्ठुः प्रतिष्ठां श्रेष्ठं धन्वन्तरिं तं प्रणमति च सदा वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनं वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनम् विरम्यते व्याख्यानव्यापारः श्वः पुनरपि मिलिष्यामः। ओम्।